Hi, my name is Megan Bishop, and this is Baz Luhrmann's Moulin Rouge. Today, I'll be talking about the alternate narrative Syntagm and its place in editing. In this scene, young Christian is driven mad by jealousy as his lover Satine sleeps with another man, the Duke. Around him, the Moulin Rouge's dancers mock him for falling in love with a courtesan. This scene is an excellent example of what is called a Syntagm. Normally used to define the relationship between the words of a sentence, Syntagms can also express the editing constructs used in film. A Syntagm in this case tells us the relationship between the cuts in a scene, their order, and why they matter. According to Christian Metz, these constructs can be divided into two categories, chronological and non-chronological. The scene, which is chronological, can be subcategorized as a narrative Syntagm. This means that the three events in the scene are all taking place simultaneously: Satine's seduction, the dance at the Moulin Rouge, and Christian's walk home. The scene is also an alternate narrative Syntagm, meaning that all three events happen in separate locations: the Moulin Rouge, the street outside, and the tower. The three events are intercut to imply continuity, despite their physical distance from one another. Continuity is also expressed through graphic matching. By cutting between several identical close-ups of multiple characters, the audience can understand the linear timeline of the scene and similarities in mood. Continuity is further shown here, as it seems as though everyone in the Moulin Rouge can see what is happening to Satine, as all eye lines match her location in the frame. As important as continuity is, however, an alternate narrative Syntagm is most effectively used to create tension, which is certainly applicable here, as it is one of the most pivotal moments in the film. In her thesis titled The Auteurism of Baz Luhrmann, an analysis of Moulin Rouge and The Great Gatsby, Anna Gamboa tells us that, quote, Luhrmann uses the alternate narrative Syntagm because it is his way to intensify the scenes. He juxtaposes shots that are from different locations that are going on in chronological order to make them more dramatic or to trick the audiences, end quote. The Syntagm is useful here because the audience can better understand Christian's feelings than if it were him singing alone. The flurry of movement and passionate dancing provide a literal representation of his pain. It's important to understand when and where the events of a scene occur, as these signifiers convey mood, theme, and meaning. The mood here of longing and despair is strengthened as we cut between Satine and Christian's perspectives. Seeing them look at one another from a distance informs the audience of both of their sufferings. In addition, the characters seem closer than they really are, thanks to close-ups and intercutting between them. Once Satine rejects the Duke, however, the intercutting stops, and the Syntagm becomes a linear narrative, meaning that we stay in one location. This is used to make the audience feel as physically trapped as Satine is, and to heighten terror and emotion. But as the Duke starts to attack her, the intercutting begins again, this time only between the dancers and Satine. This helps to imply the sexual nature of the Duke's attacks, as well as symbolizing Christian's unwilling absence from Satine. Here, Christian re-enters, his passionate singing tugging at heartstrings as the scene turns horrifying and painful. He's lit by a pale blue light similar to the one in the tower. So, as we cut back and forth, it seems as though Christian is going through the same ordeal as his lover. As the dance gets rougher, so does the Duke. The heavy emotional impact of sexual assault is made painfully clear through impossibly fast cuts and the dancer's representative movements. Once again, the alternate narrative Syntagm is useful as it conveys a feeling of being attacked on all sides, as the eyes and ears are assaulted by color and sound. The scene would have fallen flat, even seemed cheesy, if it showed Satine and the Duke alone. This scene gets the heart racing and brings tears to one's eyes because of the sensory and emotional overload, which is certainly the appropriate response to something so traumatic. The characters all share a scream simultaneously, bringing the emotion to a peak. All three events are united perfectly in pain and passion, and Satine's situation is reflected horribly on all sides. It's clear that the alternate narrative Syntagm is a useful editing technique and, when used correctly, can create an emotionally thrilling and impactful scene.